to the Healthy Business Leader show/podcast. Today I was due to have wonderful Martin McLeod on the programme, but unfortunately the internet decided to not work. So rather than not having anything to put up today, and in the interest of keeping the flow going with these episodes, I'm going to film something just for you guys and just to keep it so we get something out every single week on this show. It's been great so far because actually we've had a range of different guests on already, and got a really special guest next week, which you'll be kind of surprised to hear about. It's an old friend of mine and someone that you would know in the sporting arena 100%, someone that's been on Celebrity Jungle, someone that's been on SAS Celebrity Programme and lots of stuff in between. A bit of a star from the 80s, an old friend of mine, so I'm interested and looking forward to having them on the show. But while I'm just with me, myself and I am talking to a camera and I've got no one to kind of bounce off of, I wanted to just quickly introduce myself. So my name's Cameron, or Cam to everybody that knows me. It's quicker, easier, and I prefer it anyway to Cameron. When I get told off, I get called Cameron. And I run a company called Truth Fitness, and I've started to do this podcast show because business and fitness for me are two things that really interlink for me personally. I'm a business person. I'm not just a personal trainer. I run a team. I understand profit and loss and cash flow, all stuff that comes with it. So I've kind of moved much more into that side of things. So actually being a business owner, I understand the stresses of it. I understand having a young family, the time, having just a lack of time, and how that kind of intertwines and kind of works with somebody that's trying to stay healthy, trying to manage their weight. Because essentially I've gone from someone that used to be in the gym 15 hours a day, 16 hours a day, not working out, but working in the gym, doing personal training, bits of coaching as well on the side. And that kind of changed for me when I moved into more of a kind of face of the business type role, where instead of me delivering the results for the clients, I moved more into kind of a marketing sales role, which is essentially what I do now, I do this kind of stuff. And the Healthy Business Leader podcast/show kind of came about because it's an area that interests me a lot, business and fitness and how that intertwines. There's also a lot of scope to talk around the benefits of being healthy with regard to the productivity that it brings, the extra energy it brings, the vibrancy it brings. And essentially we've got a guest in a few weeks who is a doctor, PhD, in kind of executive coaching, and he'll talk much more about the science behind how does a fit and healthy CEO make more money than one that isn't. And the fact remains, and we all know it, that if we are a CEO, if we're a senior business leader, if we're a business owner, the fitter, healthier and stronger that we are, the easier that's going to make running a business, or the easier it's going to make managing a business. So, we all know that there's benefits to it, we all understand the benefits to it. Potentially we don't know that there's science behind it and know that it's factual. We kind of think we know, but maybe we don't know that we know. So it's an area that interests me, and I started this podcast/show, whatever it's going to be called, because I'm interested in talking to people that are in business. That's the kind of people that I resonate with. And I'm also interested to understand more about their struggles when it comes to fitness, what kind of, if they struggle with from day to day, whether it's time, knowledge, whatever it might be. Understand how they kind of got over that. Also more about their journey, so I'm really interested in people's journeys. So where people went from the corporate world, like Ian Worthington a couple of weeks ago, into becoming a coach. We had Sona on last week, very similar kind of journey as well. And it interests me to understand more about the struggles that people have. I think on social media, obviously we're going to be using posts to LinkedIn and YouTube, but social media in general is full of people that, especially in business, people that want to give you the kind of rose-tinted glasses outlook on things. And that hasn't been my experience. It hasn't been my experience at all. It's not been easy. It's not been smooth. It's not been, without nights, not sleeping, very big stressful situations. And unfortunately, that kind of led me into, essentially when COVID hit, when we had our gym was operating from a private members club in the heart of the city of London, so a very premium place, like a pretty impressive place to have a gym full stop anyway. But the fact that it was inside a private members club, took a lot of hard graft to get there. And when that was taken away because of COVID, it put me into not a very good place. I'm a man, generally men, that I've experienced, don't like to talk about things, and if you're a positive guy as well, you generally try and put a positive spin on it. But I was really struggling with the mental health side of it. I was struggling with the physical side of it. I was struggling with, the biggest thing for me was the not knowing, not having something to kind of aim towards, because it was like, right, well, we're going to get to the gym. Is the city going to open back up again? We're going to stay online. How do we deliver results for our clients? How do we get our clients back? All the kind of massive unknowns was what I struggled with. And what actually happened was I started to put weight on. Now, it wasn't huge, but I put on probably stone and a half more than I should have been, so kind of 14 to 20 pounds. And I'll admit that was because I was probably overeating, because I was bored and I was stressed out and I felt like shit. I was drinking too much, so I was using alcohol as a way to, stave off the stress. And also, it was because I was struggling and I didn't have the tools in the toolkit to understand how to get through that. It was something that I was using to kind of de-stress, and many business owners that I know use that as a tool. But unfortunately for those guys, it's got out of control. It's something they use all the time. Luckily for me, because I was in fitness, I was still training, I was still working out, still doing that side of things. But unfortunately, my weight went up a little bit. I didn't feel good. I felt even worse. And what it made me do is kind of reflect on my journey, things that I struggled with. And then essentially when we started to really build out the rapid results system, which is like our signature product, it gave me much more insight into kind of what can happen to somebody that's in business that's under a lot of stress and really struggling with things. So when we built out the program, by we I mean myself and my team, and when we built out the program, we really had in mind the key areas that people needed to work on as a business owner, as a CEO. And it's a very specific set of demands. It's not as simple as, okay, I go to work at 9 and leave at 5. It's a 24-hour thing. The stress is real. It's there all the time. I speak to lots and lots of business owners that say I don't struggle with stress, or I deal with stress very well. And when you start to dig into what that looks like for them, it could be drinking, it could be ignoring it, it could be burying it deep inside of you. They're not really dealing with the stress. They're finding the tool just to kind of get around it. They're not really dealing with it. And now that I've been through that whole process and understand more about it, and done more work on myself, I understand that you can't really get away from it. It doesn't. You need to get it out. You need to kind of articulate and process that. So when we built our programs, rapid results system, it was based around the fact that we understood more about the stress, the rigors, the understanding of what it feels like to lose everything. So kind of that roller coaster, that horrible situation that I went through and my team went through, and it wasn't just us. I realised it was the whole country and the whole world went through the same thing. But our only experience we can kind of build on is the one we've had ourselves, right? And it kind of brought us to where we are now, which is a company that is thriving, we're growing, going through a scaling phase, which is exciting for me as a business owner. Brings its own stresses, that anyone watching this video knows. It's not all roses and rose-tinted glasses, as we mentioned earlier, but we're in a good place, and we're offering our clients something really, really special, and something that's not the same as everybody else. I know that everyone says that, but this is genuine. We offer something that is faster, better, more effective, simpler, easier to implement, more flexible than everything everybody else offers. So it's a real unique product, and it's getting some incredible results for people that, in their own words, are some of the hardest people to help. Because if there are any CEOs watching this video today, and you're a specific set of people, right? You're the top of your tree. You're the business elite. You've got teams around you that help you run your company, that kind of sometimes maybe tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And when you're trying to deal with that individual, and they're in a situation where they love their lifestyle, they love what they've worked so hard for, has allowed them to enjoy the finer things in life, essentially. We all know what they are. Those are nice restaurants, meeting friends in bars, lots of holidays, travel, big houses, wonderful trips, etc., etc. They don't want to let go of that. They don't want to lose any of that. But oftentimes, what happens is when I speak to CEOs, business owners, and they've been living that lifestyle for a long, long time, and they've not been sleeping properly, they've been travelling too much, and their stress has been really high, and they've overeaten, they've not worked out. Unfortunately, it leaves them in a position where they get to 50, 55, and they're like, oh shit, okay, this is now a problem. The thing that I've ignored for so long is now an issue. So that was my kind of 10 minutes of waffling on about a little bit about my journey and kind of why we're here and why I've got a little bit of skin in the game when it comes to talking about this stuff. We've also worked with over 400 people, 400 CEOs and business owners is a real thing. We've got lots and lots of reviews, lots and lots of evidence of what we do. So when I talk about these subject areas, it's not just because I pulled it out of my head because it sounds like a sexy marketing ploy. It's because you've practiced it, tweaked it, been through the mill with people, understanding the highs and the lows of taking CEOs through this life-changing process, which is not just, hey, you're going to get fitter. It's better energy, it's better sleep, it's more productivity, it's better relationships at home, it's spending more time with your kids, elongating your life, it's giving you better quality of life. So training and nutrition are just a small part of it. It's the bigger picture that really makes an impact on people's lives. So I want to quickly, because I'd like to keep this to 15 minutes-ish, is to go over the 3 biggest issues that are holding CEOs back from getting incredible results, changing their life and improving their health, and all the stuff that comes with that, right? So there are kind of 3 main areas, and this again is because I talk to lots and lots of CEOs, so I understand there's always a similar type of kind of issue or struggle or something that's holding them back, and generally it's going to be time. So time's normally a big thing for people, for CEOs specifically, because they are genuinely busy. I think some of the CEOs I've met, it would make your eyes water if you heard just how busy these people are. They're hardly ever home. Some of them, all of them, hardly ever home. They're travelling all the time. Touching down in one city, going to an event, getting back on a plane. They've got something in the morning in London, different time zone, all this craziness. And then that kind of has a snowball effect because then they're having to meet more people, there's more eating out and drinking. When they're at home, if they're not in the city working, they want to be home with their family. So these are genuinely very, very busy people. So time is a big one. Time is a really big one. So we'll talk about that in a moment. Lifestyle and bad habits, I kind of put that into the same bracket in this conversation because they're kind of interchangeable. So the bad habits, around steps and coffee and alcohol, that kind of stuff, is also part of the lifestyle that the CEO has because they've got the money, so they will be out for dinners, they will be going out on the weekend, they will be in nice places, eating in a nice restaurant. So it's kind of an interchangeable thing. We'll kind of talk about those as well. And then knowledge around actually what to do. And oftentimes, CEOs and business owners are smart people. They didn't get to where they are by being, an idiot. They didn't get there by being not very clever. They got there because they're very driven. They have got buckets of charisma. They are able to, hold their own in any type of conversation. They're very, very smart people. And what it then means is that it's a little bit counterintuitive for a CEO to sit in front of a 36-year-old, geezer from Essex and be told that everything that they know is a load of old nonsense. It's not a great place for them to be. But oftentimes, I hate to break it to you, that is the case. Because you're a CEO, you are very successful running a financial company, it doesn't make you an expert in fitness, doesn't make you an expert in weight loss, doesn't make you an expert in health. Unfortunately, newsflash. Same as what you would, a CEO would delegate admin and marketing and sales to somebody because it's not their thing. Exactly the same applies with your health guys. If you really want to turn things around, it really makes sense. And you've got the financial, let's be honest, you've got the money for it, right? You're on good salary or you've got a really successful business. You've probably got the means to do it. Don't waste 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years sometimes. I hear people messing around. Just get someone that knows what they're doing and just get there 10 times faster. That would be my advice. So obviously I'm biased. So on to these 3 kind of key areas, right? So let's talk very briefly about time. So time's a real one. People, I keep saying people, but CEOs, business owners, they're really busy people. And they often look at their diary and go, where am I going to fit working out into my diary? Where am I going to fit healthy eating? Well, the answer is that you probably can't. And the reason you can't is because at the moment, your diary is given no priority for somebody that is prioritising health. It doesn't look like a diary of someone that is prioritising the health, and that's what got you into this position in the first place. So first step is to acknowledge the fact that you need to do something, acknowledge the fact that you want to make a change, and acknowledge the fact that unless you have some time in your diary for fitness and for health, it's never going to happen. If you can't get over the first part, the first barrier, answer that first question with honesty, it's not going to work for you. Unless you can make it the top 3 priorities after business and family, it's not going to happen. So let's just be completely transparent with that from the off. If you're willing to make it a priority, then you need to start making time for it. There's stuff in your diary, I don't care how busy you are, how successful you are, there's stuff in your diary that can be either delegated or can be moved, or we can shift your diary around a little bit. The old thing of get up a little bit earlier is a real option for you, but most people I know that CEOs don't get up at 10 in the morning, they're up at least 6. An extra half an hour in the morning is going to give you more if you get a workout in than if you lay in bed. It's going to give you more benefits, okay? Morning time is best for CEOs because it gives you less excuse. If you can get up and train straight away, at home is best because it's easy and simple. If you can do that at home, it's going to change the whole game for you. So, agree you need to make a change. Start to make it a priority, and then get some kind of morning workouts into your diary. That's the best place to start. Even if it's half an hour, that's cool. The problem you've got with gyms, as someone that's very, very busy, is you need to get to the gym, you need to work out at the gym, you need to get changed in the gym, you need to shower at the gym. That 45-minute workout soon becomes an hour and a half. That's without any kind of travel time. Working out at home means you can literally put a pair of shorts and a t-shirt on, do a workout, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, shower, and you're out the door within an hour. Much different conversation to get into a gym. Just something for you to think about. So prioritise it. So agree you need to do it. Prioritise it. Make the time or delegate some stuff you don't need to do. I speak to lots and lots of CEOs and they're doing stuff they know they don't need to do, but they don't want to lose that control of that thing. Okay, admin being one of them, social media being another thing, finances being another thing. Again, I'll leave that to you because everybody's different. I get it. Sometimes you delegate all that stuff and you're still really busy. You need to make it a priority and find yourself half an hour to 45 minutes in the morning, 100%. You probably don't work on the weekends. You can get an hour workout on the weekend. If you're really, 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 really busy, do Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, perfect, sorted. Time is done. Okay, those are my kind of top tips for that one. Now, lifestyle and habits. I do talk about this in my presentation, which is the Healthy Business Leader presentation. But essentially, if you are struggling with bad habits, you need to start reversing those. And the way to do that is to make a list of the top 10 bad habits that you've got in your diary, in your day-to-day, and then think about prioritising those 1 to 4. 1 being the one that's having the biggest negative impact on your health, 4 being the least. Only do 4, don't do 10 because it's going to be too much for you. Then every day you need to mark this down in your diary from 1 to 4. As an example, number 1, drink more water, or drink a litre of water. Number 2, only have 2 coffees. Number 3, get 10,000 steps in. Number 4, eat more protein, or eat protein with every meal. Once you've done that, you can tick that off. Tick, 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 tick. Doing that daily essentially is going to get you from where you are to where you want to be. We know the age-old kind of thing of 21 days to build a habit. If you can do that for 3-4 weeks, it's going to become a habit for you. So instead of having those 10 bad habits, suddenly you've got 4 good ones. So that's make a massive impact, positive impact on all the stuff that you're trying to achieve with your health and fitness. When it comes to lifestyle, you want to eat out with your friends, you want to eat out with your husband or your wife. You've got travel plans, you're going to be taken to events, etc. A couple of questions around that just to provoke some thoughts in your brain. Do you need to go to the event? Can somebody else go to the event? Are you going because you feel that you just need to, but actually you don't need to? Is it better just to go home and spend 2 hours at home and rest? When it comes to eating out and drinking, can you choose the restaurant? Can you go to understand what better options are? We can help you with that. When it comes to alcohol, okay, I maybe not be able to stop drinking, but can I make better choices? Lower calorie options, cleaner options, options that don't give you as bad a hangover. Just things to think about on the lifestyle side of things, because there's a range of people, right? You've got the people that just don't want to change, they just want to do the lifestyle stuff all the time, eat out and do events and travel. There's the other side of people that want to just stop everything and clean everything up, and there's people in the middle. It's all fine, but just manage your expectations around the kind of results that you're going to get. If you're someone that goes, hey look, for the next 6 weeks I'm going to be insanely smart, I'm going to be insanely strict with myself and restrictive, that's great, okay, but you're going to have to at some point meet in the middle, because you can't live like that forever. You will get very fast results though. If you want to be the person that doesn't give anything up, you're not going to get results, okay? So the happy medium is somewhere in the middle. I often have this conversation with personal trainers online. get lambasted for it. But I don't really care because I know it's the truth and it's the way that we work. I find it's the best way for CEOs and business owners to work. If you're somebody that you, in your head, if you ask yourself the question, have I used all my fun coupons up over the last 20 to 30 years? And the answer is probably yes. I have drunk 50 gallons of wine. I have been to every place on the planet I can go for holidays. I have eaten tons of food, the best food in the world. I have not exercised. I have, done all the bits in between, whatever you want to add in there. If the answer to that is yes, okay, the chances are that if you are more restrictive to yourself and stricter on yourself and be honest with yourself, actually, you need to make a whole lifestyle change. Okay, be honest with yourself. If you're willing to do that for 6 weeks, it will change your life, 100%. Okay. If you go into a program and the rhetoric, the kind of messaging is, oh, let's take it nice and slow. Let's just ease you in. You can drink as much as you want. You can eat what you want. All this stuff, it's not great messaging. It's not honest messaging. It's more around slow and steady. It's around, okay, let's make this marketable, which is great. But all the CEOs that I've ever known, I've known a lot of them, and business owners, they want fast results. They want to build momentum fast. They want to see that bottom line go up quickly. They don't want to wait a year. They don't want to wait 6 months. They want to do it yesterday. So my advice, if you are a CEO, think about how you can get the best results fast, really effectively and quickly, because what that's going to do, it's going to build momentum, it's going to build motivation, it's going to build momentum, use that word already, motivation, momentum and belief in the fact that you can do it, okay? If you go on a program and it's going to take 6 months to see a change, you're going to get bored and demotivated. Trust me, I know how you guys work. You're high performers, you successfully want to see fast change, okay? Of course, when you're 3, 4, 5 months into the program, things will get a little easier. There'll be less strict, less restriction, which is cool. But my problem is don't have all that on the front end. You're going to have some honesty with yourself that you're going to have to be, a bit restrictive, a bit strict around yourself, because you spend 30 years being not strict. You get what I'm saying, yeah? Okay. Anyway, so you can see how we operate as a company. We're honest with you, we're transparent, we're very clear and honest, and it's about saying to you, if you really want to do this, basically like what we talk about, you're the Titanic, and for 30 years you've been flying towards an iceberg, right? And we can take it slow and steady, and we can take you 2, 3, 4, 5 months to turn you around, okay? So slowly pulling you away from the iceberg, right? The only problem we've got is that it's going to be so slow and so steady that the iceberg is still going to slice the side of the boat open. You're going to be taking water on, okay? So that means that you might lose motivation, you might get bored, life kicks in, etc. And then that thing that you thought was going to fix the issues that you have actually has caused more problems because you're not seeing the results that you want. So you've actually wasted time, energy, and money on something that didn't work. However, if you work with our kind of methodology, you're the Titanic, and we're going to swing you around really fast so you can avoid the iceberg, you can get your weight down, you can improve your health, you can improve your sleep, you can start believing in yourself again, go, do you know what, I can do this. And then when you start going in the right direction, then we can go, right, let's start add a few more bits back. Cool, got an event, brilliant. Okay, you went to Twickenham, had 10 points, fine. Let's manage that, okay? But having that on the front end, I don't know, it's not the way that I would do it, it's not the way I would advise you do it, because it's just too slow. Remember, the iceberg will still slice the side of the boat, let's make that up. And then knowledge, I think knowledge is really, really important. It's something that, when I'm talking to CEOs, it's something that I'm very strong on, but also deliver it in a way to not make you feel that I'm being a big-headed twat, because that's not what this is about. It's not I'm cleverer than you or you're cleverer than me. It's just, this is our thing, that's your thing. I'm not going to lecture you on financial reports or P&Ls or marketing strategies if that's your thing, right? Our thing is getting CEOs in great shape really fast, turning their health around really fast. So if you genuinely want to learn about that and be coached for that process and get those type of results, be coachable. Just understand that we're not here to be clever, we're here to just help you in the right way, in the best way, in the fastest way, the most efficient way. So knowledge around kind of the types of workouts you should be doing. Again, see lots of people talking about running. If you're 2 stone overweight, 3 stone overweight, don't run, which is stupid. You're going to hurt yourself. I see lots of CEOs saying, I play football, I play cricket, golf. Yeah, great, okay, fantastic. But again, you're going to probably end up injuring yourself if you're not in great shape. You're going to have restrictions around your body. Your range is going to be poor. You're overweight, too much impact on your knees. You haven't got the proprioception. You don't know what your body is in relation to your head and your hands. Chances are you're going to injure yourself. Okay, so running, sports, they're great, but I'd probably hold off doing those until you're a good weight and you're much healthier, fit and stronger, because then you'll be more resilient to injuries. The worst thing in the world when it comes to getting results is to be 2 weeks into a results program and split your knee or break your hip or do your ACL, whatever it's going to be. You'd be surprised about the amount of people that have come on our programs, not listened to our advice and hurt themselves. I see it all the time. It's very, very disheartening because you lose all the progress you had, you can't work out, you get pissed off, and then you go back to eating and drinking, you lose all the progress that you've made. So knowledge around the right types of workouts, low impact, stuff that you can do at home, stuff that burns fat really, really fast, stuff that doesn't take 4 hours to do, walking on the running machine, all this kind of nonsense, stuff that gets results fast. Knowledge around the correct types of food to eat. Again, I see millions and millions of trainers talking about calories. It's great for trainers and it's great for a small percentage of the population, but people that are exceptionally busy, in my experience, don't really want to be on an app taking photos of things and looking around the back of packets and all this stuff. It's just too much for people. So we have a really simple approach to our nutrition. It's a simple framework, which means that you can be on plan for as long as you like. If you fall off plan, it's all cool, just come back onto the framework. Simple, done for life, no kind of other issues come up from that. Low inflammatory foods to make sure that your body starts to recover properly as well. And then knowledge around what do I do when things kick in? What do I do when I've got 3 months of event? What do I do when I have to go to a conference for 3 days and there's food and sandwiches and booze and that kind of stuff? Like, what do I do around those events? Knowledge about what to do, knowledge about how not to fall off, knowledge about how to stay consistent, knowledge about how to stay consistent when you're on holiday, knowing how to stay consistent when you lose a big client and you just lost £1 million out of the business. How do you deal with that? How do you not go to the pub? How do you not go and eat 15 chocolate cakes? So knowledge is really important when it comes to getting in shape and improving your health and keeping it there forever. I think the key to that is making sure you keep it off and stay in that state forever, because it's not that difficult getting there. The difficult part is keeping it. A bit like money, right? It's probably easier to get there than it is to keep hold of it, because you haven't learned the next set of skills to keep hold of it. So plan is to know the skills up front, right? So I'm going to knock it on the head now because I waffle on a little bit. I didn't really think I was speaking to a camera for 30 minutes, but I've just done it anyway. So hope you enjoyed that. I'm sorry I didn't have my guest on today. I will get him back on in the next few weeks, but next week I'm going to have the sports personality I told you about. So I look forward to sharing that with you guys. Keep your eyes peeled. I will do a post about it probably in this week to announce who we'll have on Wednesday. And brilliant. Cheers for tuning in, guys. Any questions, do hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm very active on there. You always see me on there. Check out our YouTube channel, which is True Fitness. Check me out on Google. Got a good Google page. Check out our website. Just check us out. See what you think. Cheers, guys.